I think
so.
I think he's well liked in the.
I got to listen. I'm gonna need you to knock it off because I was getting ready to give him some credit the other day. I was like, Shane said something that was actually pretty cool. This needs to be a show topic, and he used the word beloved.
Oh yeah, with the athletes.
And his premise was, we give guys the benefit of the doubt historically. Like we're more apt to go revisionist history
on guys that we
actually like. But now you're dropped. Now Kurt Russell is beloved.
Oh,
I
think
could.
so.
I could get Ali. I could get Walter Payton. Who else was in that category?
Tiger.
Both. We disagreed on Tiger, but I would rock with Shane on that.
That's
one,
who he brought up. Tiger though. Bo Jackson.
So it was Bo,
and then Michael,
Tiger, Muhammad, and Michael.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely those guys.
And he said those guys fall into a special category of revisionist history.
Yeah. I think he's probably right.
I think I'm like, that's pretty.
I mean,
for sure, Walter.
Well, I mean,
and I get it.
For sure.
I know I'm going to get all the arrows over Walter.
Well, I mean, you're talking to Vers today, so good luck.
Oh, he gets
so mad at you about being.
But I do think how we lost Walter skews.
It does.
The career.
It's the Kurt Cobain thing. When you die younger than people think you're supposed to.
So was Kurt Cobain was not good?
No, he was, but like you also don't know. It's a very he's
Nirvana, right?
He had a very short career, right? So you have no idea.
Chili Peppers lost a dude too, didn't they, Shane?
Did they?
No, I don't know.
So.
Fudge, I'm way out of my element there. I'm just speculating.
I think Blink-182 lost a guy.
Who?
Blink-182? That seems right up your alley.
Now, I've heard of them. What do they do, though?
No, it's like punk. You wouldn't like it.
Maybe Stone Temple Pilots?
I have heard of them. Shocker. Blink-182. They got a famous song.
All the small things.
Can you sing it?
All the small things, true care.
Oh, yeah. That's
their most famous one.
Yeah. You guys would be doing your head like this.
Say it ain't so.
I'm
I will not go.
That is such
Turn
a
the lights off. Carry me home.
Like oh boy dancing on peanuts.
Nah. I'm trying to dance like Austin.
I could definitely. Nah, I better too.
I gotta be nice. He has to fill in for you when you're gone for team camp.
He put it in caps. Hey, I backed off. I was gonna go there, Austin. I backed off. I did not go in for the kill shot.
He's our white balance.
Don't you think that?
I know, but it's 2-1. Austin balances it out.
No, it's 1-1. You're not. No.
Well,
we're
different.
The same, but we're different. Knock it off. We're not.
So
connected.
Technically, you got Rico, who's his own thing.
Yep.
You got me, who's my own thing.
Yep.
You got you, who are your own thing.
Yep.
And then you got Shane. So technically, Shane and Austin together put it out of white balance. We got too much.
Anywho, don't you think there's something to the fact it's why we hate on Rodgers as he's gotten older, because we don't like him.
Yeah.
But Rodgers was way better in his career than we talk about.
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers was incredible.
No, he was. I mean, I think of anybody who's played, I don't know what the number is. He's got the best touchdown interception ratio of all time.
So who else belongs in the beloved?
So
do we agree on Bo? For sure.
Bo for sure. And he's the one that gets the biggest benefit of the doubt based on what his career versus how we feel about him. Like, that's the biggest disparity, and I don't think it's close.
I should know this.
Yeah.
What Walter rush for? Is he a 15K guy? He's 12 or 15. Both those numbers stick out to me.
12-3 or something like that.
We're getting it. Just give me 10 to 15. 16-7.
Okay, so the numbers substantiate a prolonged career.
I mean, he was the all-time leading rusher for, a very long time.
Yeah, some of that is longevity, which I'm not going to knock.
13 full years, which as a running back's hard to do, especially back then. I mean, he was...
How many 14-game seasons did he have? Any? His first couple?
Yeah, no, he had a lot, actually. 1, 2, 3,
He's late
4,
70s.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, you mean... Sorry, you meant 14 total.
Yeah. Not
how many did he play at least 14? Just 3 at the beginning.
Okay. See, I'm not.
Sorry, I misunderstood. I thought you meant how many times did he play
I'd like
at least
to think
14
I'm pretty
games?
Smart.
No, you are. I misunderstood what you meant.
So he's a product of 3 14-game regular seasons.
Yeah, and his greatest yards season and touchdown season came in a 14-game season.
Like 1,800?
Yeah, 1852 and 14 touchdowns came in 77 in 14 games. So that's pretty
Okay, it's
crazy.
legit.
Yeah, and he went.
Well, I mean, OJ went for 2.
Yeah. And that was also his best yards per carry.
So I have to be careful with my wording because.
So I think the yards per carry is where you get a little where you don't love Peyton as much. Is where I would guess.
Let me take a stab.
Okay.
What are you giving me, a 10th?
Yeah, I'll give you a 10th either way.
Walter is Walter is a 3.9 guy.
Ooh, you're off. It's 4.4.
I would not have guessed in the 4s.
Yeah. He actually only had one full season where he was under 4. He had a 3.6.
Had to be late.
Actually, it was right in the middle, 81.
Maybe coming off an injury.
Yeah,
He had a toe, he had a knee.
I'm not sure. There's a little mid-career lull, and then he kind of picks it back up again in like 83.
Okay.
Like he has a good 80.
I have to be careful with Walter.
The numbers are better than you don't like his running style, and so I think that skews you a little bit.
I think when you look at the totality of the running style, but he was a laborer of running the football.
Okay.
It did not look like it came easy to him.
Mm.
So part of what makes him the allure is like his toughness.
Sure. You always get the stories about like he never went out of bounds. He'd always run back into the guy.
I'm not one of those guys.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's weird because that's everything I believe in.
Yes.
I just don't like to watch it.
You don't want it to look that way.
Manifest itself.
No, I get that.
So I'm not saying that Walter is Bo.
For sure not. I mean,
Walter was extremely productive and a great runner.
Mm-hmm.
I do think how we talk about Walter is enhanced by how we feel about him.
I also think it's a little bit of a generational thing. Like if you were a certain age when Walter Payton was in the league, you probably feel a certain way about Walter Payton.
Do I feel like that about Muhammad Ali for the same reason? I didn't like Muhammad Ali until post-boxing career. It's uncanny.
Because too many people liked him?
No.
Okay. Because that feels like one where you might zag, where you're like, oh, he's too popular. I'm going to be a whoever else guy.
When I was watching him, I still felt like he got hit too much.
He did allow himself to get hit a lot.
So again, it's style.
But especially, okay, so you're talking later career Ali too.
Well, I mean, I was born in 74.
That's what I mean, right? So your first, I mean, the earliest you could probably remember him is like 79.
And I do get YouTube.
Yeah, I know.
Right.
But if you have like a perception of him going in.
He just got hit too much.
Because late stage Ali got hit a ton. I mean.
Even some of the classics,
yeah.
I was like, why? Like, I don't think Joe Frazier was a great fighter. Like
no, good puncher.
You shouldn't have been hit that much by Frazier. And I get, hey, nobody. There's only a few people that could really debate me over that are historians. So yeah. I may be safer right now, but like I didn't love Frazier. But are we misremembering Ali? Or are we just thinking, hey, prime? Like Ali gets a lot of love.
So I think there's a couple things. One,
does he belong in the below category, first of all?
Yes.
Okay.
I think so.
So Walter, Ali, safe.
I do think Peyton is much closer to Ali than he is to like Bo. Like the accomplishments are there.
Okay.
Right, for both of those guys. Now, that's not to say there weren't some flaws. I do think the thing that you don't like about Ali, which was his style, is one of the things that enamored people about Ali, is most to this day, and really all the time in between, you don't really see heavyweights move like he moved.
Okay.
And I think that's
as a 218-pounder.
Yeah, I mean, he was a small heavyweight.
Yeah.
Right, but you don't see heavyweights move like Ali does. And I think that enamored us quite a bit to see somebody in that weight class with still having good power to move the way he moved. Like stylistically, that's really unusual.
So to Johnny the Pig's question, which is a fantastic one, and this is a hill I know my dad would die on.
Mm-hmm.
Huge Jim Brown guy. Why doesn't Jim Brown get the same love as Walt? So, okay, so there's definitely. I knew this would be a good topic, Shane.
Good job, Shane.
Well, it was.
No,
it had some depth.
It was off like a humbug too. He was out there vaping, thinking about it.
We misremember and we go revisionist history. We love those guys, and I was like, what?
Yeah.
Okay, I could see that. Jim Brown was not nearly.
Oh, he wasn't. I wouldn't say
he was a little too for
political.
A guy that didn't go to the war in Ali.
Yeah. Jim Brown
was much worse.
Yeah.
Like post football career.
Yeah.
So I don't think we love Jim Brown the person.
Yeah.
Because Jim Brown the player, even though I hate a little bit on Jim Brown.
Why do you hate a little on Jim Brown?
Because he was bigger than everybody else he's playing against. So
it's the Wilt Chamberlain.
I'm not a fan of the style.
It's the Wilt Chamberlain.
Correct.
That's fine. I get that.
Like it's how I feel about LeBron.
Yeah. Just stylistically, not a fan.
It's bully guys.
Yeah.
And so I don't rock with
That's
that.
why I'm not. I think
Ali got hit too much.
Yeah.
For me.
Yeah.
Who else is in the beloved?
Said we were debating. Well, he brought up Jordan. I think Jordan's tough because he is beloved, but I also think that his career is pretty hard to poke holes in.
Okay. He might be one of the rare guys where the mystique
matches
the accomplishments.
I would agree. Like, because I do agree he's beloved, but I'm having a hard time sitting here being like, I don't know how much of it's
and
not
I
deserved.
get it. Like Lance,
but he brings
like Jordan detractors do harp on the 80s.
But listen, that's fine.
I thought Gilbert Arenas brought up a great point. When we were anointing Jordan the GOAT in the ring culture, he hadn't even won his third yet.
Sure.
It was early 90s.
I will say I don't feel like ring culture was that big of a thing in the early 90s.
It wasn't.
Right? So I think that was a big deal there. I mean, I remember specifically, I think it was the first year of his comeback, so 96. I remember specifically Bob Costas just flatly saying he was the greatest basketball player of all time, and there was zero pushback. So he's only 3 rings in at that point.
I'm not sure I want to get into this because I like both guys.
Okay.
How much of the – and I get 18. I get 18 versus 14.
Mm-hmm.
How much of the Jack debate, when we're just talking about – like if we're objective, right? Like talent, the field you played against.
Sure.
The courses now actually matching the equipment. I'm not a big well, they got all the new equipment.
Jack versus Tiger guy.
How much of how we feel about Jack versus Tiger is more than the 4 major wins? I think Jack is beloved.
I think so. But I think it's so
he's aged gracefully.
I think people like the way that he carries himself. I think that's a big part of it. And honestly, I think that's a big part of it with a lot of these guys that are versus aren't beloved. Now, Muhammad Ali is the wild card there because he was very controversial at times.
Who's your 5 again, Shane? Tiger, Michael, Bo,
Ali.
Walter, and Ali. Okay.
Yeah.
There's got to be somebody else in there.
Oh, I'm sure there are.
Beloved.
Gretzky?
Not sure it's a did Gretzky's prowess within the sport transcend the nichiness? That's a totally made up word. Did his aura transcend his sports following?
I mean, if you talk
he did make a cartoon.
If you talk to somebody that doesn't know anything,
wasn't Gretzky on that Bo one, Shane?
Yeah.
I think so.
If you talk to somebody that doesn't know anything about hockey or somebody that doesn't know anything about sports, there's a pretty decent chance they know who Wayne Gretzky is.
No, I'm not talking about popularity. Like a Q rating.
Yeah, if you're talking about...
I'm talking about the affinity, like the special place that they can hold. I'm not to pull an amazing Daniel, but I am kind of giving beloved a definition.
No, that's fine. Because I think beloved, I do think popularity, but there's a distinction there. That's fine.
Because I'll give you one in a more popular worldwide sport, still.
You gonna say Messi?
No, I'm gonna say Pele.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, that's probably fair.
Beloved. We talk about, Willie Mays, beloved. Like, that's the kind of part of the reason we say Willie Mays is the greatest of all time.
Because we love him.
We love Willie Mays.
We
love Willie Mays.
We love Willie Mays more than we like a Hank Aaron.
Mary Lou Retton, I don't know, pre or post DUI.
Yeah, I don't know on a Mary Lou Retton. There was probably a time where
doesn't Nicholas belong in the beloved?
Well, some of those older guys, I mean, they become.
I'm gonna get to Jack's question because I think it's fantastic.
So they become ambassadors of the sport. So I mean that really helps their case to
Jack
be that.
Nicholas fall in the nichiness category a little bit?
I think he transcended his sport.
Okay. Like, you think if you go talk to people who don't follow golf, that they are aware of the prowess
of Jack Nicklaus
more so than a Wayne Gretzky?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, 100%. 100%. And I'm not saying he was and I wouldn't fight you if you said it. He's better relative to his sport. I'm not saying that. Like,
you're just saying that he transcends more than Gretzky does.
Beloved. It's hard. So let me look. So Jack asked a question.
Yeah, what was Jack's question?
Because I think how we feel about Bo, how we feel about Walter, is the direct correlation of how much we like them. Because I'll give you the antithesis for a guy that, sure, we feel like he should have won more, but Aaron Rodgers is incredible. Yeah. He was incredible. He was incredible for a long, long time. And we are misremembering, though, they won't draft wide receivers, and he got Jordy Nelson this and tail end career Freeman that, and Donald Driver and Jennings and these guys that he was like having these crazy
propping up
statistical
their careers.
Stats with.
Yeah.
But because we don't like him, like, he gets overlooked in his era.
Part of that's a Tom Brady problem, to be fair.
I mean, maybe.
I mean, I think so. And here's the big difference for me with...
Hang on.
Okay.
I'll give you a comp. And he didn't win near as much as we talk about. Like, that's... Aaron Rodgers is still greater than Arnold Palmer. We love Arnold Palmer. We act like we don't remember one great tournament that Arnold Palmer won. We just remember some of the head-to-heads with Jack.
How much of that's like era, though, too? I mean, like, golf wasn't as omnipresent as it is now. I think that's a factor, and we don't remember.
I think
yeah, but you're kind of like, I get it. Brady casts a huge shadow.
And I'm not saying Jack doesn't, but I think part of it in terms of just if we're talking about what people remember, we're talking about golf in the 60s versus NFL in the 2000s.
Look at amazing Daniel. I would never drink something called Aaron Rodgers.
I do love an Arnold Palmer, though.
I do, but I get his point, though.
Yeah.
He backdoored it, but I get the point. Like, that's kind of what I'm saying.
Some of those golfers,
we remember it differently than the actual career.
No, I get that. For Rodgers, for sure. Rodgers is the opposite of the conversation we're having in terms of...
And I don't know why I bristle up at Rodgers, because I've gone through I like him, I don't like him, I like him, I don't like him. Is he just on a roll?
He says it would taste like bong water and conspiracy theories.
That almost got a dry heave. I mean, not that I'm experienced with smelling residue, but...
DJ says the Aaron Rodgers would be lemonade and ayahuasca.
See, we can't take us anywhere.
I love our chat.
Jack asked a question. And I don't know.
Okay, what's the question? Because I missed it.
Will anybody retire in this era? Pick a sport.
Okay.
I can think of one. I have my one.
Okay.
That will go down as beloved. And I actually think he's benefiting from it real time. And he's a great player.
Okay. What's the question?
Is anybody in this current era going to be beloved?
So there's a couple that have just retired that I think fall in that category.
You're not going to say Brady.
Nope.
You know who's actually aged better
Who?
than the amount of wins he was able to rack up?
Who? Peyton?
Yep.
Yeah. No, we love Peyton.
Yep.
We do.
Yep.
We love Peyton.
Always have, even at Tennessee before he won.
Yeah, we love Peyton.
Yeah.
We didn't care that Eli had more titles than him.
Nope.
We give him credit for that second Super Bowl, even though Brock Osweiler played a ton and he was bad, and Peyton was bad. Like, we love Peyton Manning. And a lot of it is
Wyatt,
because he's funny on SNL.
I've got one in my mind.
So
pick a sport.
So the ones I'm thinking of are it's a niche sport that just retired that are like fully beloved.
Shoot your shot.
I mean, Nadal and Federer are like beloved, and they will be remembered better than Djokovic, even though he's probably the best of the three.
Somebody just said it, and I agreed with him too. Because he's not serious too often. Oh, Johnny the Pig, referencing Sampras. So being the victim. No, he's kind of on the really, 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 really good players.
Yes,
like being forgotten about. Like I could see, but Sampras for what he did, and it's an individual sport.
Mm-hmm.
But I would entertain a Sampras Rodgers versus Federer Brady era.
Yeah, probably. I mean, that's probably fair.
Like, we sleep on Pete.
Yeah, no, Pete was incredible. He was my favorite tennis player growing up. I love Pete.
Like, I'll rock with
part
that,
of it,
JP.
though, too, and somebody brought up Shaq. Part of it is because Pete's just never been heard from again.
This is a hot take.
Yeah.
You want it?
Yeah.
I think we remember Shaq being better than he was. It sounds dumb. It sounds utterly ridiculous.
He's pretty good. He's pretty good.
Do you know how I want to explain it, though?
Yeah, go ahead.
He's just kind of a wilt.
No, that's fair.
He just and I'm not saying he wasn't skilled.
Because he was.
He was.
He was really skilled. So was Wilt. I mean, but there was no one physically in a category ready to deal with him.
Yeah. I mean, guys, he was playing against like John Koncak and Will Perdue. And I get the dream, but Hakeem worked him.
He did. I will. So what I was saying about Shaq, though, because
he got the mornings and the Ewing, so hear my heart.
Because
David was tough on him.
Because he's around and people like him post-career, he's more beloved than, like, we remember him fondly.
Okay, so we'll slot him in the category of...
Like, Barkley's the same way. People love Barkley now more than when he played.
Yeah, 100%.
Right?
100%.
So, like, he doesn't... The only person that gives Barkley any crap for not winning a title is really Shaq. Everybody else is kind of like, oh, we love Chuck. Like,
Shaq may be he may be the opposite of Jordan, where the mystique and the career match, which when you're at that level is utterly amazing.
Hard to do.
I mean, I can only think of one other guy that's probably in that category, and he's Tiger.
Yeah. No, so the only other one, and he wasn't beloved by any means, but the mystique and the career match for like Barry Bonds. Like, when you talk about, like, that dude's just, like, anything you could say about that dude is accurate in terms of his prowess.
I watched him with a straight face say he would have turned anything Satchel Paige threw around the other way.
And I believe him. Honest to God, I do. I do.
He said, Satchel? Me?
Yeah.
Oh.
Dude, have you seen the interview where somebody's like, hey, how, like, today, could you turn around 100? He goes, yes.
Yeah.
He's like, somebody has to catch the ball. As long as somebody's catching the ball, I'm just changing the object that I catch it with from a glove to a bat.
I'm not going to give you the Nadal and Federer. I don't think it's on a big enough stage.
So it's not. But I mean, in terms of within their community, it doesn't transcend, so they don't fall in the category of like.
So that's what I think makes Pele elite.
Yeah, because he does. He transcends that.
Yeah.
But in terms of in their community, those two guys are going to be remembered better than a guy that is better than them.
Do you know my current day?
In Djokovic. Who?
I think it's Steph Curry.
Do you? Because he went through a little phase where people hated on him.
I think it's Steph Curry.
I hope so.
Steph Curry will age amazingly well, and he is a top single-digit player of all time.
Yeah.
Steph Curry has no blips on the radar.
And he's
didn't misspeak in a press
nope. Very likable. The only thing that people got a little annoyed with was oversaturation.
Right? Okay, we shoot threes, but Steph Curry is the only guy I can think currently
that you think goes down as beloved. I think he'll age well because he'll be around and he's likable.
I'll entertain some others.
Yeah.
I'll listen to Ohtani. He's mythical.
Yeah, he is. I just don't know.
Like for real life sports like today, he's mythical.
He is. I mean, I've made the argument, and I don't think it's outlandish. Just for me,
I think Isaac is new to our chat, but he's about 5 for 5 today. He is about 5 for 5. I liked his Nowitzki Duncan takes. He had another good one earlier. I'm with him on D Rose.
I don't know that. Yeah, I don't know that.
How are you? You're not rocking with Curry?
No, I am.
Okay. Are you giving me pushback on Ohtani?
I just think I don't know if he transcends enough to common fans.
100% he does.
Okay.
Ravi, he just touched 101.2 on the bump.
I get that. But like if I call it like the mom test, right? If I go to my mom who only casually watches sports and doesn't really care, and I go, "What do you think about Shohei Ohtani?" Like I don't know that she has an answer for me.
Well, Ohtani only needs,
and I'm the guy that
he only needs 3 or 4 more good years.
I'm the guy that's made the argument that he might be the most talented baseball player of all time. Just pure talent, all-around player.
I mean, 2022, I'm probably in full-fledged cringe mode.
But I don't think it's wrong.
Because I disputed that I was that guy that was like, cool, he can pitch.
Yeah, that's
I know.
a little dismissive.
I got some hot takes now. I got some hot takes that haven't aged well.
I don't know, and I'm not disputing the greatness. I just don't know if he transcends outside of baseball communities enough. If that's the mark we're using. Because I don't know if you go to people that, like, they probably know the name. So this is the argument of, like, Gretzky versus a Pele.